Say anything? Hello? Wait, what? Time is moving. Let's try this again. Why is it beeping? Keep going.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said,
No, let's keep going. It's time paused again. Okay. Anything happening? Let's just wait. Make sure. Let's try this again then.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the
Now
end,
it's
is
incoming.
never the end, is 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 never the
Why
end,
does it
is
keep
never the
saying it?
end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
The hell? Okay. Time's still going. Now let's just scroll. Now it's Come on. Now we may leave. For a little bit. But now we may leave. Maybe. What is going on? Keep going. No, I'm going to go. Where's the clock? Has it been thousands of years in the game? It must have been thousands of years. Damn. Thousands. Keep going. Now what's happening? Keep going. Now what's happening? Um, just keep going. What the heck? Whoa! It's gone. The heck? Let's see. did it one more time. It's just like the end of the betting commercial. I know what's happening. Is it the end of the thing? Yes. I guess that was never ending then.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's redo this. New content again. What if I ignore it?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I just want to do this one more
The
time.
lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Let me go back. No. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, no. Come on, let's just do this one more time. Actually, I changed my mind. Do the regular ending this time. Just to show the people who haven't seen it yet. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean, he wondered. Desperate for answers, he began... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
This is a new
That
part,
kind of
though.
anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
This is different. This is a different... I think it's gonna be a different ending. Like, of the ending of the story where you beat it.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I just want to tell you it. This one time. But see, this is pretty much where you go. Go here. But this has 2 choices, actually. You'll see in a moment that it has 2 choices. Unless you see here, you think...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
First, I'll show you this one. First, I'll show you that one. Like from the left. Like if you go straight from the where it says escape. If you go right here, like going straight, where it says straight. This is the death ending. Just let you know. I'm lying, you know. I'm not going to tell you how you die. For the people who know, you can comment in there if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it, because it'd be a spoiler. But yeah. It's not a smart option, but you could do it. It's a cool ending. But first, I'm going to show you this one. There's 2 endings to this ending of this ending. This ending could either be a win or a fail. I'll show you the ones. I'll show you them.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
This is like one of my favorite endings, though, that I've seen so far. I haven't seen all of them. I haven't really seen that many.
Now the monitors jump to life, their true nature revealed.
This pretty much tells you
Each
what
bore the
all
number
endings
of
you
an
have left to
employee in the
do.
building, Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yeah, pretty much it tells you they can have their. Then one of them tells you the endings that you've done, I believe. Like whenever like they move and they're like all done doing this, I think it tells you the endings that you've done so far. I think. I'm not sure. It does, but pretty much, yeah. But then you go this way. You press this button, right?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
And there's two ways to get fired, apparently. One day I'll figure that out. I just don't know yet. We'll figure it out.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Now you have two choices. You can turn it off, or you can turn it on. This is what happens when you turn it off. You think it's over. Because the light is gone. That's what I thought first.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yes, that was pretty cool.
All of his co-workers were
But guess
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So then, people who don't know can think about what it is first.